So today I wanted to talk about some of the things that have changed in the card collecting hobby since I was a kid, in the late 80s and in the 90s. Some things are different now. I really just started getting back into the hobby in the last month or two. And some of this may be old hat for those of you that just started in the last 10 or 15 years, or maybe some of you that just kept with it. But I thought it was interesting for me how these things were different. All right, so the first thing is when I was a kid, we'd rush out to Dairyland in Worcester on our bikes as soon as the Beckett Monthly came out. The Beckett Guide was the absolute, Bible for what the pricing was for all of the cards. So if you're at a card show and you wanted to know if you're getting a good deal on a card, or if you were trading with somebody and you wanted to know if it was a fair trade, or just want to know what your card was worth, you'd use the Beckett. And this was the absolute standard. So first thing that was interesting is I called the local card shop to see if they had Beckett's. And you may remember that, Ramsey. I was calling around. Remember, I drove all over town trying to find a Barnes & Noble that had them.
You went to like 20 stores.
I did, and I hate doing that. So I really wanted to find them, but the local card shop said, well, we don't use Beckett. We use eBay. So they go to eBay, and then that's whatever the cards are selling for there are what they go for. Versus I found a Griffey Jr. in my 89 Donruss, and I saw some really high prices, over $100, close to $200, and I found my Beckett, and I think it said $3, but in fact, it sounds like the higher number that you see on eBay is probably the real one. But I wanted to just kind of show you real quick how I'm actually still using the Beckett, and I still see value. First of all, I enjoy the articles. There's a lot of good articles, and the buying old junk wax. We bought those old cards. They're real cheap, like $10. We got the whole box. Remember that? That's kind of how we got started, right? Mm-hmm. So I like the articles. They talk about some of that stuff, but the main thing is, when I open up some new cards, I come down to this page here, and it's real small print. I'm sure you really can't read it, but it's actually telling me who are the unlisted stars, and then who are the semi-stars. And that helps me understand who's a common and who's not, because I like to sort my cards out that way and put my commons in a box, and I'll put my good ones in a sheet, put them in these binders so that I can look at them. And then some of these that are listed are the higher value, the better cards. And then what I do is if I see one in here that's like $10, $15, $20 or more, then I'll go to eBay and see, well, what is it really worth? Because it seems like the Beckett has a really low price compared to eBay.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Mm-hmm, makes sense.
So I guess a lot of you out there, you don't use the Beckett. You're not into that. I still like it, and that's why. So the other thing, excuse me, the other thing that I found was really interesting was that, when I was a kid, you had, Score and Fleer and Donruss and Topps, and you had these different brands, and they had a set, and that was the set for the year, and they may have like an update or a traded at the end of the season, with rookies and things like that. But now I'm seeing Panini has different sets that come out, different editions, every few months. So they're making, it seems like, less of the cards, so they hold value better, but there's just a lot of different variations, different sets that come out. And then it's the inserts, the autographs and memorabilia and all that is the more valuable card. And if you went and bought a factory set, you're not going to get that. So that was new for me. And the other thing that blew me away is that, I look here. This is one of my favorite cards I held up there. Here's a Barry Larkin rookie Donruss. You can see it's got the Reds logo, and it's all very official. It's got the MLB logo, so it's officially licensed. And Donruss was a major brand, and I really liked the Donruss. And so I bought some Donruss, which is now owned by Panini. And Topps owns the exclusive rights to the Major League Baseball. So if you look at this card, the logo's blacked out on the hat. It just says the state here, Minnesota. Doesn't say Twins.
Why?
There's no MLB or anything, so they've got an agreement with the Players Association, so they can list the players, but they're not licensed with Major League Baseball. So that to me was really strange. And so what it looks like is over the last several years, there's been these exclusive arrangements. So if it's a Panini brand, they're officially licensed with the NFL, and they're officially licensed with the NBA. And anything that is not owned by Panini that puts out baseball or basketball is unlicensed, is going to not have the logos and not have all the official stuff. Baseball is Topps. So Topps has the exclusive on baseball, and then in hockey it was Upper Deck. So I don't know that this is a bad thing, and it seems like, with maybe the exception of the Topps base set, it seems like they make way too much of that. But in general, it seems like they're giving you more cards to buy without making the same card too much. And it was just interesting, so that was different for me. May not be different for all of you. So let us know your thoughts in the comments, and Ramsey, if you want to tell everybody bye, and we'll see you next video.
Bye guys, see you in the next video.
Years old, so when I was a kid, it was the late 80s, the 90s, and what?
Cry.
What is so funny?
I don't get it.
What is so funny?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I honestly I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't know.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah. I'm
All
not
right.
gonna lie.
Okay. You ready to start again?
Mm-hmm.
You don't look like it. Is it the camera on my head? Is that what's making you laugh?
No, it's just my stomach is tickling. Makes me laugh. I think we're ready.
All right. We gotta be done with the laughing.
I can't stop. I lemon.
Alright. So today we're going to talk about things that have changed in the card collecting hobby.
I'm sorry, cut that out.
We probably will.
Alright, let's go.